All right, thank you, everybody. Sorry about the delay. So I hope everybody studied. There's gonna be some questions as usual. Whoever gets the most points gets a donation to their favorite charity. And if you answer without the multiple choice, it's 2 points. If you need the multiple choice, it's 1. There's a little bit of a new element in here. It's gonna be a little bit of more luck. There's gonna be a zoom in, zoom out feature, which you're gonna see a little picture. If you can figure out what it is without zooming out, then you get a point also, okay?
Oh.
So let's see how it goes.
It's like very zoomed into the picture.
Exactly. Kind of related to the question of what's happening, all right? Yeah, we had a Byron Independence Day and we played that on the review. So I said, that's a good idea. All right, so we're gonna start with Deanna. You ready for Act 25 Courtroom Drama CSI edition?
Yeah.
All right, Deanna, who is Festus?
Well, Abel wanted to know who was Fetus, but Festus is the Roman leader that replaced Felix.
Okay, what was his official title?
Oh boy, I don't. He wasn't a king. I'm not sure what the actual name of it is, but he's in charge of that area.
I'll just give you 1 point. Abel, do you know his title?
Abel stepped away for a moment.
You don't know the title?
I don't. No.
Eddie got it. He's the governor. Yeah. 2 points for Eddie. But you say you didn't know it. Yeah, but the answer came up right away.
No, those just happen to be options. Yeah. No, it's a government.
Okay. Now, and Brandon, what is that a picture of?
The side of Caesar's head.
What is that thing? Like, describe it.
The leaf crown.
Very good. He got the zoom in question for 1 point.
It's obvious.
Well, that's it's actually called a
That's only 1
laurel.
point.
It's called a laurel. Have you ever heard the expression, don't rest on your laurels? What that means is to continue put forth a good effort, even if you already accomplished something, to never quit trying to get better, right? Because laurels were given like as a prize when you win, like for example, in the Olympics or whatever. Very good. All right, Ralph, you're next. What favor did the Jewish leaders request of Festus?
Yes! I'm done. They request that Peter bring Paul to Jerusalem.
Peter?
No, Festus.
They requested Festus to bring Paul to
Jerusalem.
Okay.
I can tell you why.
2 points, very good. He did not need his multiple choice here. The answer is transfer Paul to Jerusalem. Correct. All right, Nina, you ready? What's the picture of? Nobody say anything.
Oh, this is Caesar.
It's what? No?
Law or something like that.
It's what?
Law, Caesar, the law for the.
Say it in Spanish. John, huh?
You mean?
No, there's no multiple choice. John, it is a scroll. Very good. It's a zoom in of the scroll down at the bottom there. Sorry, it's only one picture. That's why. Oh, please don't ask. Jim, on you. You
I
have a
thought it was 2
question.
fingers out of a cast, actually. Given a peace sign.
So, still 2 years in jail. There's a wow moment. They still trying to kill him.
I thought bureaucracy was no matter what age.
Okay, Jim, why did the leaders, why did the leaders request Paul be brought to Jerusalem?
So that they could try to kill him.
Very good job.
Set him up.
Ambush and kill him on the way.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, so I'm gonna go to Abel because he was out of the room before. What is this a picture of, Abel?
The initial thought that comes to mind is Pikachu.
I can see it, actually.
It's not Pikachu for the picture. I'm not gonna try 3 and then I'll show the picture, because you know what I mean? All right, so Deanna, do you know?
A garment of clothing.
So Hannah,
I think it's a chair.
no,
Can I guess for fun?
it's fire.
It was definitely Pikachu, man.
I can see it lying downward. Yeah, it's like he's lying behind.
Okay. So when they said take him to Jerusalem, Festus put a different idea. Eddie, do you know, Dave, I'm gonna skip Dave, you know what idea Festus say instead?
I could ask for multiple choice.
Yeah,
Okay.
forget about Paul and move on. Go to Caesarea and present your charges. Wait until Passover or hire a lawyer and submit an official petition. What did he tell the leaders of Jerusalem when they wanted to take Paul back?
B.
Very good. Lucky. Got lucky. Brandon, picture?
Why don't you get a picture of Dave?
Oh. That's the head of the centurion.
Very good. All
I
right.
could have got two.
How does that compare to the Pikachu picture, man? That definitely is a helmet.
Pikachu with a flame.
All right.
That was the flame. I didn't know who was next to me.
Ralph, your turn.
I'm there.
How did Paul answer about standing trial in Jerusalem?
Can I get multiple choice?
Yes, you can. He said he should be released immediately. He pleaded guilty on all counts. He said, let God be his only judge, or he said he should stand trial in Caesar's court.
C.
Not correct, Nina.
D.
Which one? D. D is correct. Nina got a point. Picture time for Jonathan.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh, it's like that the warriors use for defense. So if a sword comes, they can block it like
Where is it located?
right on your wrist.
Very good.
What's that called?
I don't know, bracelet.
That's to defend the flag.
Yeah, like Wonder Woman.
All right, Jim, you ready? You have a question, Jim. Jim, unmute. What was Agrippa's sister's name?
Oh,
I should know her.
I'll probably need the
Multiple choice?
multiple choice.
Yeah.
Bethany, Beth, Bernadette, or Bernice?
Ooh.
No.
Bernice.
Which one?
D. Bernice.
B is Beth.
D. Bernice.
Yeah. Benito Lido.
Anna.
I'll be there.
Who is that? You guys are cutting off, Tina, now. I don't know why.
Abel's next, and then.
No, now first Abel was out of the room.
Yeah, but now the cycle is Abel's behind the X.
That's how it should be.
I want the picture.
Oh,
You're so good.
This is a picture.
I still don't.
Who is it?
It's Deanna.
Yeah, yeah.
it should be.
I don't want to answer the picture. I know the name.
That's what I told you, said Jesse.
No, that's almost.
That's the picture that I'm gonna show. Okay, what is it?
A weapon.
How about you, Angel?
She wants multiple choice.
No, I want a regular question, I said.
Oh, man.
Okay, Angel, your turn for a picture. What is it?
I'll tell you after.
It looks like a piece of clothing, like a tying thing.
Now, Hannah,
I have no idea.
Wait. Is it a scale of justice?
no,
It's a measuring thing.
I thought it was a scale.
It's like a necklace.
it's an earring.
Oh, that would have been like a yes.
Actually, you can hear it.
Oh, but another wow moment. King Agrippa, his great grandfather is the one that wanted to kill all the babies when Jesus was born. His grandfather had John the Baptist beheaded, and his father martyred the first apostle. So these people is the bad.
Man, who is King Agrippa? I got it right,
All right. Like the land.
Oh.
All right, Eddie. What dilemma did Festus present to Agrippa? Multiple choice. Brad is like, okay, he felt an urge to convert to Christianity. He found Paul had broken no laws and only religious grievances were presented. He wanted to release Paul but had to appease the Jews, or he did not have the authority to convict Paul.
One of the four, don't worry about it.
That's right.
30 seconds, kuya.
B.
That is not.
B.
B.
Picture.
Oh, my.
I'm saying,
Oh,
that's the ring.
All right. So Nina, you have a question?
Yes,
This is the
ma'am.
last round, okay? What was Festus supposed to include in a letter to Caesar?
Multiple choice, baby.
What was he supposed to include in the written letter to Caesar? Multiple choice. A list of witnesses to testify, a list of charges against Paul, a list of impeachment articles, or a list of previous guilty pleas. B. Which one? Can you read it? B. B as in boy? Yes. That is correct.
Picture time.
Picture Jonathan takes it well. Jonathan,
Oh, that's a beard.
good job.
Yes,
There's my scroll.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, we need James, you said, right? And
James,
Abel.
I thought that was the last question.
I know, that's what I'm trying to think.
What about Diana? Isn't-
No,
I thought
the
this was
other
about
one was the last one.
And they just unlucky.
They're unlucky they were last.
Yeah.
Well, no, we have some discussion questions, and if you get one of the points I put up in the discussion question, I'll give you another point, all right, Jim and Abel, okay?
Time to chit chat.
Time to
Oh,
chit chat, we have some thought questions.
Oh, chocolate.
All right, Jim, what do you think is one of the motivating forces for Festus' decision making? What things did he have to consider when deciding what to do about the situation with Paul in jail? What do you think,
Like everyone else's opinion on Paul. Like the community.
what about the community?
Well,
The just like how the community viewed Paul.
How about you, Abel?
he had to consider, because he was trying to please the Jews. So he was actually considering that, like, you know what I mean, trying to get to a way that he could do like a little Pilato type of thing, where he actually becomes somewhat detached from it, like the decision is sort of made. But he was considering a lot of pleasing the Jewish leaders of the time. So that was something that was on his mind.
All right, very good. So yes, the community, he had political calculations. He tries to put the onus on other people. So like, what do you think about this, Agrippa? He wants, like Abel said, keep the Jews happy, but he also needs to keep the Romans happy because he has to follow the Roman laws. And do you see this in today's discussion points? Do you see this in today's politics? Like, what your opinion, you have to think about, like they say, put your finger in the wind. Which way is the opinion going?
Yeah, PC, politically correct.
Yeah, exactly. So and you see this even in the ancient times, we were seeing these kind of things.
Yeah.
All right, another discussion point. What dubious kangaroo court findings do you notice in this case? First of all, who knows what's the kangaroo court? In general, what does that mean?
It's something where justice not done. It's just-
Exactly, like a joke, a sham court, let's say. All right, so give me like an an example there. So I have a lot of ties here, so if anybody wants to jump in, get extra points, what do you think was one of the things in this court that was like, that don't make sense?
He had no crimes against people.
No crimes were presented, Jonathan, that's correct. Anybody else?
That they wanted to try him in different places where he cannot meet his accuser and all that stuff.
Okay,
They were religious crime, no, like, I mean, religious crime or religious law, that was it. It was just different.
so yeah, no, not a real law broke.
Yeah,
broken.
it was,
Okay,
religious. They were things on the Jews, not pertaining to Rome.
how about you, Jim? You have something to add here? You're tied for the top, Jim, you should speak. Any ideas? All right.
Mm,
What else was funny about this court?
So I got 5 points because I got tangled.
Wait, is it my turn? What's dubious about it?
Yeah.
It's my turn?
No, you put answer to anybody. I'm
Isn't
trying
it a
to-
raffle?
The problem is with the court is that, they're presenting, oh, this guy's guilty, but has not presented anything that they broke the law with.
Nobody said that one, but yes.
Well, it's because he keeps having to like represent his stuff over and over to different people.
I like that one, yeah, and then double jeopardy.
Titi, you keep cutting off. You keep cutting off. We didn't hear anything that you just said.
Okay, very good, Deanna, that is double jeopardy, he's already been through this before, you're not supposed to do that in court. And, but everybody said no proof.
The main problem that the Jews have with Paul was that he keep telling that Jesus was alive.
Yeah, they didn't like that. No laws were broken, we said, abuse of power. And how you gonna have somebody in jail 2 years and never press any charges? That allowed?
Also prison.
Yeah, the battery guy.
It was
Okay,
Brittany
last
Griner.
one.
Next.
So this was the discussion point in here. They wanted to kill him, and apparently killing people in, as a punishment was okay in the Bible. What do you guys think about that? How do you feel about the death?
In general or at the time?
I feel if you commit a crime, you should be killed, yeah.
That's,
I would agree.
that's too
If
simple.
you could-
I think that, hello? Are they still there? I don't even know. Titi? Hello?
Many people have been found innocent after being tried. It said they were guilty, but they were innocent.
That's apply in certain cases.
So in,
It's a case by case.
okay, at this time in history and some places in the world today, it is a legal punishment. In the Old and New Testament, we saw that. Crucifixion and stoning were common ways of killing people. And but the problem here is that the Jewish leaders want to take the matters into their own hands. They didn't really want a they just wanted to go straight to the punishment. Okay, so, wow, no wonder Paul was told to stay out of Jerusalem. Remember in the other chapters, he kept telling him, don't go there, don't go there now. They always trying to kill him. They always trying to kill him. And, but like Hannah said, I wrote
think Abel
that
had a comment on
in my
that.
notes here too, that unfortunately the death penalty we have seen is targeted and biased. So it's very
It's true,
difficult.
yeah.
It's very difficult.
If
You have
commit a
something to-
crime, you gotta pay the price.
I think it's worse to sit in jail for that long isolated.
Okay, do you have something to say, Abel?
I think we have sufficient evidence to say that, unfortunately, I do think, there's a segment of population that cannot be reformed. We already have discovered that, we have proven it time and time. The problem is that the methodologies that we use, we don't do it in a true just way. I want to say it's so expensive that it's just very difficult and everything. That's for today's day. You know what I mean? Meaning that it could be a fair punishment, because I gotta say, somebody actually told me this, and it's interesting. Minister, what do you think of this? Who created the death penalty? God. When he actually said to Adam, because they disobeyed Adam and Eve, their biggest punishment is you're gonna die.
That's right.
That's it, you're gonna die. So you did the crime, you disobeyed it and everything like that. So to tell the truth, the concept of the death penalty, I am not necessarily in disagreement with. The way that we do it, because we're men and everything we do it gets tricky. That's what it is. But we have proof that there's many crimes, okay, from rape, serial rapists, serial pedophilia, mass murderers, and different things that we have proved that we have never been able to cure psychopathy or sociopathy. All we can do is like keep them isolated or kill them. So unfortunately, I do gotta say, I agree with the death penalty because God was the one that created the death penalty.
Abel, you're making very good points, and this is a very interesting topic. And I think it would be great for one of our Thursday or Wednesday night Bible studies, where we can definitely talk. And my did you know is, there is a little controversy in the version of King James of Acts 25, because in verse 21, it says that Paul appealed to the court of Augustus. And so some people point out Augustus wasn't the Caesar at the time. Actually, the Caesar at this time was Nero. And so, but if you look into history, that whole group of Caesars was called the Augustus age, and that's why it mentions it like that. In the NIV, it just calls it the emperor, so he doesn't give names. But just so you know, right after Julius Caesar is the first Caesar when the Roman Empire started and the Roman Republic finished, followed by Augustus, which was around when Jesus was born. Then we have Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, and right here we're at Nero. So if you ever want to learn about intrigue and the Game of Thrones got nothing on these folks. If you ever go into the History Channel and look at the history of this little group right here, the next group after them is not as interesting. It's a lot of intrigue, a lot of murder, a lot of plotting, a lot of crime, all kinds of stuff. And what is that a picture of right there? Who do you think? What is the legend?
That's a harp.
Yeah, who's playing it?
David,
No.
no Nero. Nero while Rome burned.
Yeah, the legend
was a
says that while Rome burned, Nero played the fiddle. I mean, well, it's a harp here, but yeah. And then he accused the Christians of causing a fire, and there was an atrocious genocide going on. So tough time. So the take-home message here is to be your own advocate. Paul didn't lie down and take it. He said, okay, take me to that court. Nope, he spoke up. He knew the law. He knew that he was a Roman citizen. He knew what he had to do. So you need to, whenever some situation like that, you need to be your own best advocate. Use the tools and benefits allowed to you. And don't let a travesty of justice like this happen to you if you don't have to. Unfortunately, we know in real life, who do the travesties of justice usually occur to?
People perish for their lack of knowledge.
The poor people.
Why?
Somebody don't-
Yeah.
So just that's important to make sure that you stand up for your own rights. Thank you. So, well, we have a big tie, so I need the boys to give me two numbers, one of them between 1 and 10 and the other one between 1 and 10. So Ryan and Kenji can give me two numbers. Let's stop sharing.
Who's talking? Stop recording.